to stay.
Hello and welcome back to Beyond Boards, a podcast dedicated to the actions and interests of skaters beyond skateboarding. My guest today, Julien Januszkiewicz, is originally from Millau in the south of France, but has made Bordeaux his home for the last 15 years. He picked up a skateboard in his teenage years and a camera in his mid-20s after a bad ankle injury and started filming his friends in Bordeaux and Montpellier. In 2013, he released the first volume of his Bordeaux Exposure videos, focused mostly, as the name indicates, on the Bordeaux skate scene, but showcasing also skaters from various parts of the world. Aside from skating and filmmaking, Julien works as a chemical engineer for a pharmaceutical company in Switzerland and is also a young dad, so needless to say, he leads a pretty busy but fulfilling life. So here's my conversation with Julien. I hope you'll enjoy it. Thank you very much, Julien. I'm honored to have you on the podcast today. We've been chatting for a long time via Instagram, and I've been trying to shed some light on the Bordeaux scene for a while now. I've been chatting with Leo Valls for a while that I had on the podcast, I think about a year ago or a year and a half ago. And so I'm really happy to get you on and to talk about everything you do for Bordeaux and your videos and stuff. So yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks. I'd like to be here.
So I start every episode with the same kind of basic question with every guest and just, ask my guest how he or she started skating. And so I read that you were born, I think, in the very early 80s, maybe in 1980, and that you started skating around 10 years old, around there. And you were living at the time in the south of France, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, you're right. Around 89 in a small city named Millau. It's really south of France, near Montpellier, at a 1 hour drive. So really 20,000 people living there. So really a small town with not really a lot of skater at that time at all. So we discovered that via some friends who had imported skateboards, Mm-hmm. And so, we asked to our parents to buy a Holy Sport skateboard at that time, just to try and to enjoy the things. But it was really our first skateboard with me and my brother, because I have a brother named Ben. Yep. And so we started together in 89, So it was quite cool. But there was no skate shop at that time in this city. So the nearest skate shop was at Montpellier at that time. Mm-hmm. But we did not travel a lot, we were kids. So we bought this first Holy Sports, to try. And then really first board was bought in Montpellier in a small, it was even not a skate shop. It was, I think, a shop where you can buy clothes. And there was, in the basement, some boards. It was named Creeks, the store. And we bought this, our first board. I think the first pro model I got was Matt and Slay at H Street.
Oh, nice.
Skateboards.
Yeah.
So, it was really the dream for us. So, with the Sims wheels, I remember, yellow Sims wheels. And we came back with with those skateboards in Millau, and we did that for 2 years. So skateboarding for 2 years with an older guy. Mm-hmm. But at one point they stopped, they were older, so they left the city. And I think there was no more motivation to skate. I don't know why, honestly. It was around 91, 92, so we dropped the skateboards.
Yeah.
And
I feel like it was also a time in skateboarding around the world where skateboarding was not super popular, like for a few years, like early 90s until maybe mid 90s.
I never understood why, but it came up like that. But skateboarding was always in my head, all those years, but I did not, retry to skate between 92 and 96.
Okay.
But in 97, in the summer 97, we went to Biarritz with my brother and my dad for vacation, and I saw all those skaters, mm-hmm. in the town, and I said, okay, I need to retry. I need to buy a new board and retry to skate, because it was so fun for me.
Yeah.
So we did buy Acme. It was Acme board.
Oh yeah.
in a skate shop, and I did retry, and it was quite hard because I did not know how to ollie and so on. Maybe a little bit, but I relearned all the tricks, the new tricks at that time. I did not know about Switch or stuff like that. You know, I did not watch any videos when I restarted.
Mm-hmm.
But really, the first video that I watched was the mouse video.
Oh, yeah.
In 97, you know, a friend of mine was coming from Montpellier and he was a skater at high school. And he gave me all those new videos. So I was like, really enjoying watching those videos and try to figure out, you know, how to flip, how to and switch. I did not know, you know, I did not know what was really that. And I learned flip watching Sunchife doing switch flip, in fact, and I did not know what it was in switch.
Okay.
It was quite fun because he put, you know, her feet really in a weird way, you know, for switch. That for the normal flip. So
for a normal okay, I see.
And so my brother skated, relearned and skate with me at the same time in 97 as well. So I had like a motivation to go out and skate because we were together, you know.
You just mentioned Mouse. Did you watch any skate videos when you first started around 89? Like, did you watch any videos at that time?
Yeah, we had some videos. I think the first videos I saw was a blockhead video adventure in cheese.
Okay.
With Rico Ward in it, I remember. Because at that time, my first shoes that I bought was Ethnics. You know, it was a brand before Ethnics. And they sent me a VHS with it, you know, with the box. And it was this video. And so we discovered that. And then, we saw Propaganda, Pau and Evry videos.
Oh, yeah.
Wonder Industries videos, Rubber Ship, I remember. So it's really the three first videos that came to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So but after we stopped, so no more video, anything. Honestly, we did not touch any skateboards or any videos for 6 years.
Okay.
So it's a blank for me. So.
Yeah, but it happens, and then you picked it back up in 97 and until today. So.
Yeah, in 97, it was really a great year for me. Just reskate, we learned new tricks. And then in 98, when I had been graduated at the high school, and I went to Montpellier for studies, you know, science at the university for 1 year. And it's where I progressed much more because there was all those guys from Montpellier at that time. You know, Montpellier at that time was really a great city to skate.
Yeah.
There was a lot of contests, short brain contests in 96, 97. I mean, a big skate scene, clearly.
Yeah,
there was Luc Anglès at that time and all the locals, Damien Berbon. I mean, it's really specific, but it was really the skate scene over there. Nicolas Rouquet, exactly. All those guys, and we were skating with them, and I was so motivated. You know, I did not study a lot. You know, I spent the whole year to skate and party, so it was great. And then, in 98, there was this World Cup in Montpellier. Mm-hmm. It was part of of all the skate contests in Europe, and there was all the pros coming up. And I saw all the pros that I did watch in the videos, like there was Eric Coston, Peter Smolik, Sanchefe, all the brand, all the guys. It was crazy, you know. I was so hyped at that time. Mm-hmm. And then after this year, I did not graduate at all, you know. Mm-hmm. So I had to go to another university near Clermont-Ferrand at the university to study chemistry.
All right.
For 2 years, so. But I was still traveling between Montpellier and Le Puy-en-Velay. It's a small town where there was this university to study chemistry. So I spent a lot of time to travel the weekend to go back to Montpellier to skate, see my friends. So I did that for 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to ask you about like your work experience and what you studied and stuff. But I want to focus a bit more on filming for maybe this first part of our conversation, if that's okay.
Sure.
We talked about you starting skating, so you had this little period of time where you stopped when you were a teenager, and then you picked it back up around 97. And then as you were like graduating high school, you were getting fully into skating and super immersed in it. At what point did you start filming, and did that come a bit later maybe, like the idea to start filming your friends and making videos, or did that start around that time when you picked up a skateboard again?
No, it was really much more later. After my studies and after I arrived in Bordeaux. In fact, it was around 2008, 2009.
Oh, okay. Oh, so like 10 years later. Okay.
Yeah, 10 years later. So, and I was only skating during my studies, then I went to Pau, at the Pau University, to get my Master of Science in chemistry, but I did spend as well 3 years in Evry, near Paris.
Mm-hmm.
And we were skating a lot as well at that time. And my brother was in Rouen at that time. He was working in But Skate Shop.
Oh, yeah. Famous skate shop, yes.
Yeah, so I was traveling, when I was in Paris, I was traveling to Rouen to skate with a local skater over there, with Arnaud Bremard and the But Skate Shop team. So it was a great time as well. But then I had to go to Pau for 1 year to be graduated for my master. And really my first job was in Bordeaux, so that's why I came to Bordeaux in 2007.
Okay.
And I started to meet some the locals in Bordeaux. The Bordeaux scene was really strong at that time. There was a new skate park in the Chartron where I met all the locals. Mathias Eno was the first guy that I speak with. And I met Leo and all the Minuit crew at that time.
Oh, yeah.
So we all skate together a bit. And really I started to have an interest in videos around those times. I had a small camera, so I did start to film a bit. But I really started to film when I got injuries. I broke my ankle in 2008. So, it's a classic story, You had an injuries, you want to be close with your friends, still to be outside. So
on the session, yeah.
Yeah, and at that time as well, in 2008, my brother had opened the skate shop in Montpellier, popular skate shop.
Popular, yes.
So he had a team, and in 2008 there was a guy filming in Montpellier, and I wanted that he filmed all the guy from popular skate shop. So I bought a camera for the shop, and I gave the camera to the guy, so he started to film in Montpellier. Okay. But for 1 year I did not really de-rush all the tapes, at one time. Mm-hmm. And I started to think that I could get the camera back to film in Bordeaux and to make videos between Montpellier and Bordeaux. In fact, when I was out, due to the injury.
Yeah.
So I started to film really in 2009, I remember, with the first HD camera. It was a Sony FX1. It was a camera with tapes in it, but first HD camera to film with.
Okay.
So I started to film that, and I came up with the first full length between Montpellier and Bordeaux in 2011.
Yeah, Days and Nights, right?
Days and Nights, yeah. So there was a lot of skaters in it between Bordeaux and Montpellier, like around 40 skaters with parts. Mm-hmm. And I did a premiere at the cinema Utopia in Bordeaux and in Montpellier as well. So it was really the first full length for me.
I think that was actually your one of your longest videos, wasn't it? Like in length, that one was like over 30 minutes. And I was looking at all the Bordeaux Exposure videos, and I think some of them are like over 20 minutes, but I don't think none of them are as long as this first one, Days and Nights.
No, that's true, but there is kind of maybe trend sometimes, during the years to do short videos or longer videos. Yeah. So, I don't know if you saw these articles from the Jenkem mag about, length of videos through the years. It was quite interesting to see all the trends. And you see that during all those years, video full lengths had a tendency to decrease.
Yeah.
But yeah. And after that, I did three full videos of Bordeaux Exposure and a few other projects as well. Mm-hmm. But, I was working all the time, so I have full-time jobs, managing teams and laboratories in my jobs. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, during the weekend, I skate or I film. So basically, to do one Bordeaux Exposure, at least the second and the third, it took me 3 years.
Yeah.
And then each time I travel, I try to film people where I travel. For example, in Bordeaux Exposure 2, I went to San Francisco.
That's right.
Few weeks, so I had a section of San Francisco in Bordeaux Exposure 2, meeting locals and skating with them, filming them. Mm-hmm. I met Carlos Young at that time, Carlos in 2014, a legend from Pier 7.
Yep.
Really a cool guy, and Jesse Narvaez as well, really cool.
Yep. Skates for Magenta.
Yeah, he's from Magenta, so they were really open and down to skate and film, so it was great. And the same for Bordeaux Exposure 3. I mean, it took me 3 years as well to film all those guys. But what is great in Bordeaux is that there is always someone, traveling and going to Bordeaux from everywhere, so you always meet new people who are down to skate. So it's really easy, to film and meet people in Bordeaux. It's quite small, so you just take your bike and you go from spot to spot. You meet always someone, and it's great.
Tell me maybe about starting Bordeaux Exposure, because the first video came out in 2013, I believe.
Yes.
And I guess the name is a reference to Dan Wolf's Eastern Exposure series from the 90s. The third Eastern Exposure must have been a big inspiration for you, but you were also inspired by many other videos from the States from the 90s and maybe early 2000s and stuff. But tell me maybe about just, starting with the very first one and coming up with the name and the concept and everything.
Yeah, so at that time I was filming in 2012. But I was looking for a title, a name for the videos, and I spoke with a friend who suggested me this title, Bordeaux Exposure, inspired by Eastern Exposure 3.
Yeah.
So for sure it was an inspiration because the video is so good, especially the New York section, and Ricky Oyola as well, skating
Donny
in the street,
Barley,
cruising and in black and white, and I was really inspired by this video. So that's why I started to film or to put the video in black and white as well, just to differentiate a bit with all those videos which were coming up, all in colors, and putting Super 8 as well. I use a lot of Super 8mm. So it was as simple as that, it's thanks to my friend Antoine in Bordeaux who suggested me this.
And so that first video, it took you about a year to shoot it, to film it? It was to the year 2012?
Yeah, it took me a year because I was in Bordeaux, so it was much more easier to film. I was still there because end of 2012, my company was closing. I was working in research and development in a pharmaceutical company in Bordeaux, and it was closing, so I was fired. So I had to find, a new job, and it's where, I found this new job in Switzerland end of 2012.
Yeah.
So at that time, I did the montage, the edit, end of 2012, and in Jan 2013, I was in Switzerland, starting my new job.
I assume going to Switzerland was maybe there were more opportunities in the pharmaceutical industries out there, but did you want to stay in Bordeaux ideally, or were you looking for jobs kind of all over the place and just wherever you would find something interesting to do, you would go there? What was your thought process when you got laid out of this other job in Bordeaux that you mentioned?
No, at that time, I had my newborn in September 2012, so I had to find a job, so... Yeah. So it was quite, important, and I had this opportunity, and it worked at that time to go to Switzerland. So I had not really choice, I would say. I think it was a good opportunity as well to work in Switzerland like that, and it's quite close from Bordeaux by a flight. It's just 1 hour flight if I wanted to go back. So I did a lot of flights between Bordeaux and Geneva to film and to go back. So it was quite easy.
So you moved to Switzerland, so in 2013, started this new job.
Yeah.
Then in the following years, you did the next Bordeaux Exposure videos while you were working, but you were going back and forth between Switzerland and Bordeaux. And as you said, since you had your job in Switzerland, you couldn't really film or do much skate film work on the week. So that took you a bit longer to do these next two videos. Maybe it took you 3 years to do one instead of 1 year for the first one.
Exactly, yeah. It's exactly this process. Yeah, and I met people as well in Geneva, because there is a very good skate scene in Geneva and Switzerland definitely. In general, but we don't talk about it, really. But there is really good skater here.
Sure.
Very cool. So I met OG 2000 crew at that time as well. So I started to film as well in Geneva with those guys, with Luc Boimont, Guillaume Berthet, Jordan Keijo.
Oh, yeah.
Who is in studio skateboard right now, Pro for Studio.
Yeah, he released a couple parts recently that were pretty incredible. Yeah, super tech.
Yeah, and I met as well Simon Perrotet, who is really good as well at the time. He was quite young. So he's the first guy that I met and filmed with in Geneva. So in fact, I was between, the Swiss skate scene and the Bordeaux skate scene. So I mixed the two, together for Bordeaux Exposure 2. There's a lot of Swiss guys as well in it, plus Bordeaux and San Francisco section.
And what kind of made you want to still go back to Bordeaux during those years? Because I mean, of course, you had your friends, and the skate scene over there is quite unique, as you mentioned earlier. But being in Switzerland, it would have been like simpler for you to, you know, stay in Switzerland and maybe go film in Geneva and Lausanne and some of the major cities where the skate scenes are more developed. What made you kind of want to still go back pretty often to Bordeaux and keep filming over there and stay around there, kind of, you know what I mean?
It's really the friendship for me. Friendship and the energy that there was in Bordeaux. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it was obvious for me to continue to go back. But as well, there is the grandparents of my daughter over there.
Oh,
so
yeah, okay.
We were visiting them as well, you know, with my daughter. So it was a mix like that, and a good mix. I mean, every good reason, you know, made me go to Bordeaux, for sure.
So after Bordeaux Exposure 3, you did the series, like you started the Bordeaux Exposure series, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but I just wanted to stop on Bordeaux Exposure 3 for a minute. So that one came out, I think, in 2021, and there's a couple of clips of Tom Penny in there, and I just wanted to ask you about that because, like, of course, Tom is a legend, and I think he has a family close to Bordeaux, and that's probably why he's around that city a lot. But how did you connect with him, and did you film the clips that we can see in your video of him, or was it someone else that filmed his clips?
Yeah, no, I met Tom Penny with just randomly, you know. We were outside, and he was there with you know, Bordeaux friends, because he's friends with Bordeaux guys since a long time now.
Like Serge de Freitas.
He was Serge de Freitas, yeah, and Johan Barrio, all the OGs. And you know, I mean, we were outside, and I just met them randomly, and we started to film just naturally, and I filmed Tom Penny, yeah, just like that in the street, you know. I was so hyped.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It was so.
It must have been a trip,
yeah. Yeah, it was so fun to see that and live that. I mean, but very, very natural, very simple, really a cool guy, and yeah.
He also has some clips in the first volume of the Bordeaux Exposure series, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. But it was rushed that I did not use for the Bordeaux Exposure 3.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
There's also some clips in the Bordeaux Exposure 3 of the DC team coming through Bordeaux. We can see a clip of Wes Kramer, of John Shanahan, yeah. Evan Smith. But yeah, that must have been fun. How did you cross paths with them?
It's a crazy story here because at that time, you know, I was working in London for 1 week.
Okay.
And I took a plane to go back to Bordeaux after my job, you know. And in the plane, I see the whole team, or the whole DC team, coming up, you know.
Oh, wow.
In the same plane than me. And Wes Kramer did sit just near me, you know. It was so fun.
Wow, so incredible.
You know, I was wearing, you know, not as a skater, I was wearing as a, you know, normal guy doing a really serious job, and I told him, I'm a skater, I'm from Bordeaux, I make videos, you know, showing him what I was doing, you know. He was so cool with me. And awesome. Then we met, you know, the day after, just to check out, and I started to film the crew when we were outside. So it was a fun story as well. So the whole crew with Thiago as well.
Oh, Thiago Lemos was there. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Thiago was in DC at that time. He had heel bruise. He did not skate a lot, but...
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was Wes Kramer, really a cool guy. Really nice to meet him.
And so I wanted to ask you about the music you use in your videos, because it's super on point, always really, really great music. A lot of 90s rap, but a lot of other stuff as well. And yeah, can you tell me about just how you decide on, you know, selecting songs for specific parts or for specific moments in the videos? And do you consult at all the skaters that appear in the videos regarding selecting the music and stuff? Or do you try to keep that to yourself and you have a vision for it and you don't want to maybe have too many people coming in and telling you, oh, maybe you should use this or whatever? How do you work around music for your videos?
Yeah, it depends, because it depends of the vibes about, you know, when I'm editing. If you put all the footy there, you start to think about a certain atmosphere. Mm-hmm. Or it can be the inverse. I mean, you can have a great track and try to fit with what you are putting in the editing line, I would say.
Yeah.
It depends, honestly, depends of the atmosphere, all the ambience that I have with the Super 8, the rhythm as well of the skating, of the guys, it depends. So all of those things mixed, you always find something.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, I'm really inspired by hip-hop of 90s.
Yeah.
But as well, trip-hop, hip-hop and soul, a lot of soul as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really what I like to put in my videos. So yeah, it really honestly depends. And when there is skate parts, I consult the guys. For example, Leo is quite picky, I would say.
Yeah.
He's really.
He likes to control like what his footage looks like, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, he has really a thought process in everything he's doing. So for sure we work together. Even for the editing, he has strong opinion about what to do. So what is great as well, it's great to work with him on those topics.
Sure.
And yeah, for specific part, I consult and we collaborate and we ensure that we are aligned about what we want to use.
This is a kind of random, but I was wondering also, like, the credits in your videos kind of remind me of the girl videos. Is that on purpose or not really, like you just decided to put them like that? Or is that a kind of a reference to the girl and chocolate videos?
Yeah, it's really an inspiration from girls' video and trans world as well.
Oh yeah.
I remember well, there was this kind of title, yellow title at the end of videos. But I think, you're right, it's more girls' videos. But because this one, the mouse video, I did watch it, 1,000 times. It was crazy. It's the best video for me at that time. It was so nice. All the tracks, the songs.
Yeah, the music is incredible.
The music.
So you've shot a lot of skaters throughout the years, like in Bordeaux, in Switzerland, in San Francisco, and in other cities. Do you have maybe like one skater that kind of sticks out as someone you really enjoy working with?
I mean, it's obvious that I did a lot of videos with Leo Valls.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had like in all the videos that I made, he had a part in it. And he was really pushing the projects with other skaters in Bordeaux when I was filming with. So he was really a pusher, or I don't know how to say that, but a motivated guy to crystallize the energy for those projects. And I always enjoy filming Leo, and it's a friend anyway for me since a long time now.
And also he's a very specific skater. Like he skates, I guess like nobody really skates like him. He's a very unique skater. Is that also part of like what you like about filming him? Not to say that everybody else is not unique, but he does like tricks that not many other people are doing. Is that also a part of like the excitement of filming him? Is that you're gonna film stuff that you wouldn't necessarily film with other skaters?
Yeah, I mean, he has strong opinion about what he wants and the way to do it. Yeah. And for sure he has a unique style and unique tricks, but he can do both. He can be a very technical skater as well.
Yeah, sure.
So it's what I like, the mix between those two, technical skating and very, unique or Japanese influence as well. So I like this mix. So I think that's why. And he had opened really my mind about what to do in skate, because there is all those mainstream skating, I would say, with big spot, big stairs,
Yeah.
all those stuff, and there's really the streets and how to deal with the streets and just cruise, you know, and ensure that the spot is part of the tricks, in fact, and not only the trick. Really, the spot is really has to be part of what you are doing. To me, the spot is the most important, and how to use it. So it's really this mix as well that I like, and a very different angle to deal with that.
And I was wondering also, like, do you have maybe a skater that you filmed in the past that really surprised you? I mean, in the sense that maybe you knew that skater before filming with him, and you had a kind of an idea of what kind of skater he was, what kind of tricks he did and stuff like that. But then once you filmed with him, it was like a completely different experience than what you were expecting. Is there someone that kind of surprised you in that way?
Not really. I mean, if I know the guy before, I know what he's capable of, what kind of tricks he likes or sports. So, for example, I did a part with Gauthier Rouget.
Oh,
Bordeaux Exposure 3.
Very good part. Excellent part.
Yeah, so he has a unique style as well. Very technical skater.
Yeah.
So I know what he's capable of, but he had a lot of surprise because sometimes he did not do how to do the tricks and learn the tricks on the spot, so which is crazy for me.
Oh, wow.
He did a lot of things in this part that he never learned before. So, this is another thing that, another dimension for me. For some skaters, it's like that,
Like, it's that easy?
Yeah, it's crazy. So, but that's great. It's a great experience, I mean.
Yeah. His part was the last one in the third video, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that one was really good. Like, he's really talented, for sure.
Yeah, he's very talented, and I think he's lacking of exposure.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a pity. That's not fair, I guess, for him.
Yeah, it happens these days with like some skaters don't get the shine that they deserve.
Yeah, I think it's not all a matter of networking and stuff like that. So, but this is part of skate, I guess. There is tons of skater like that who was underrated, for example, and did not deserve really what is happening. But I hope Gauthier will come back with another new part soon.
Yeah, I hope so too. Another one in your videos that I really like is Alexis Greusard. He's also super talented and kind of also very underrated. But he's like really, really good style, good trick selection. Like he's a really good skater as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I know Alexis since 20 years now. I met him in Montpellier. At that time he was a kid, but we skated together a few times. And I reconnected him some years ago, and he was really down to film and skate with me for Bordeaux Exposure's video. Mm-hmm. So he's really motivated. So even for the second one that I'm filming right now for next year, he's down. So he's filming with Jérôme in Montpellier as well. So they are sending me footies when I cannot come to Montpellier. So really cool, really motivated, really nice style, good ideas as well. So it's great.
And so this latest video, the Bordeaux Exposure series, you released the first one, the volume 1, in January of this year. So as you said, you're working on the second one. But I was just wondering like how you approached this project, because the first 3 videos were like semi-full lengths, not full lengths as in like an hour, like a fully flared video or something like that, but like closer to 30 minutes with full parts and stuff. This video is a bit shorter. I think it's closer to 10 minutes or maybe 12 minutes or somewhere around there. Did you approach this project differently, like keeping in mind that you wanted something a bit shorter? Or did you approach it just as a regular Bordeaux Exposure video and it just ended up being a smaller edit as it turned out? Like, how did you work on this one?
No, here for sure I wanted something shorter to be able to edit quicker, I would say. And so it's the same sort of process. Every year there is new guy in Bordeaux or guys who are skating really well but lack of visibility. So I want really to be able to show those guys, because nobody is filming them.
Yeah.
So for me, it's really the first thing that I wanted to do since I'm filming, really film people which are not filmed. So it's what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And for sure, it's an occasion to networking, meet new guy, traveling a bit as well. I went to Tokyo in April this year. Oh, yeah.
I wanted to ask you about that, yeah.
It was great. So there will be a Tokyo section as well next year in my new video. But it's really the most important for me is to connect, meet new people and show them in my videos because, they deserve it.
You just mentioned the second volume. When is that going to come out? Do you have a date in mind already, or are you still kind of editing it and working on it now and it will come out at some point next year?
No, I decided to issue it around September next year.
At the end of the summer, okay.
Yeah. So like that I have more time, to film who I want, and I will add some 16mm as well footy. I bought a 16mm camera, so I want to add that in the next video.
I wanted to ask you just about skate videos in general. I just had a couple questions about that. As we mentioned, since we began talking, you've been, I guess, heavily influenced by the 90s skateboarding era. You mentioned Mouse a bunch of times. I know that the Zurich mixtape also was a very influential video for you, and probably a bunch of other ones, maybe the FTC videos from Aaron Meza and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you do keep an eye on what's coming out these days, but also with your work and your family life and all you do filming and skating. I don't know how much time you have to, keep an eye on the videos that are coming out today. Are there like videos that have come out in the last years that you really enjoyed, that you felt were super interesting? Or are you kind of more focused on the videos that you grew up watching and trying to stick to that vibe kind of?
No, from the last 10 years, I would say, no, I'm staying aware about what is coming up. You know, I watch videos every week anyway. But I like really underground videos. I still buy DVDs, you know.
Yeah.
So I want really to support, you know, independent skate video projects. It's really what I like. And 10 years ago, I was really inspired by Jeremy Elkin, videographers from New York. I was really like what he was doing. Mm-hmm. And at that time as well, I met Colin Wade, you know, who was really starting Spirit Quest, but it was way before that. He was doing other first video projects. I met him or just chatting through Instagram at that time or Facebook. Mm-hmm. So I was really inspired with Jeremy Elkin videos like Elephant Direct, you know, Poisonous Product. All those video montage was great for me. It's the one that stick with me. For the rest, I like really Japanese video or independent skate video projects. There is a guy named, he has a skate YouTube account named Toyo Toko.
Okay.
It's really raw street skating by night, really few edits, really short, with really a lot of energies and raw street skateboarding in Tokyo. It's really great, in black and white very often. So if you can check out that, it's really great.
What did you say it's called? Toyo Toko?
Toyo Toko, he has the YouTube account. He has an Instagram as well. I don't remember his name. It's Matsuiba something.
Okay.
I don't remember, but really enjoy those videos.
Okay, interesting.
It's not really well known, but very, very raw.
Authentic.
Yeah, authentic, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
For more, I would say, well-known videos, I like Atlantic Drift videos.
Yeah, Jacob Harris.
Yeah, it's really great. But I liked a lot, you know, Guillaume Perimoni videos. Like
fishing lines with
all the fishing lines. Oh yeah, it's great. I love that.
Yeah.
Michael Macroth, and it's really great. So those kind of videos I enjoy a lot. Yeah.
What about like the static videos? Because I feel like those I can see a lot of similarities between Josh Stewart's static video series and what you're doing with Bordeaux Exposure. Are those like videos that you enjoy?
Oh yeah, for sure. Static videos, that's really an inspiration as well. I have all the DVDs at home, so yeah.
Did you watch the latest one or not yet?
Yeah, I got it. I got the DVDs just last week, so...
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I saw that it just focused on US skaters, but that's great. You know, I like always the atmosphere, the way that he's editing. Well, I mean, all the TOA, you know, Theories of Atlantis edits that are coming up are really great. I like really the atmosphere. Yeah. But I liked as well a very good video named Veil. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen it, but I've been seeing it, like people mentioning it on Instagram these last few days, especially with like the quarter snacks, this thing like with a poll to kind of, for people to say like, what are your top 5 favorite parts this year or something. And a lot of people were mentioning this video, but I haven't watched it. Yeah, I need to check it out.
No, this full length is really great.
Where is it from? Is it from the States or?
I think it's from New York, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong, but all the spots are quite you know, raw, I would say. Very good skating or very good ideas. You know, it's just not jumping stairs. You know, it's really there is research. There is a thinking process as well, and the tracks are really great. So I think it's Zach Sales, the filmmaker.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, really great. I enjoy it.
This is kind of a silly question, but if you had to go to like a desert island or somewhere super remote and you could only bring one video, or maybe let's say like 2 or 3 max, what video or videos would you bring with you? I'm sure maybe Mouse would be in there, but what else would you want to watch forever?
I'm sure, for sure the mouse videos, one FTC videos, I think Penal Code. And Propaganda, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Video. Propaganda is also great.
switching gears a little bit, but I just wanted to ask you, we mentioned your work experience throughout our conversation. And so you mentioned that you were working in the pharmaceutical industry and that you moved to Switzerland to work over there in 2013. And you've been working there since then. I know that you work as a chemical engineer and that you studied like analytical chemistry, but I don't know anything about those. So could you just tell us in a few words like what your job is exactly and what you do?
Yeah, sure. So it's really specific. So in fact, analytical chemistry is everywhere. As soon as you want to test something, to test drugs or to know how much contamination there is in water, or I don't know, to quantify a certain type of molecules, it's analytical chemistry. In any matrix, it can be blood, water, pharmaceutical product, foods, air, everything. So it's quite wide.
Yeah.
But I focus, what I'm doing in pharmaceutical industry for medicines. So it's really to ensure and to develop methods to quantify, active ingredients, which are in the product. Like, for example, you have paracetamol tablets.
Yeah.
We want to be sure that there is the right level of paracetamol in the tablets and there is not toxic degradation product, because when you keep your tablets on your shelf for 3 years, the active ingredient, is living. In fact, it can be degraded.
Okay.
So you have to ensure that you have the right chemical tool to quantify that there is always the right level of paracetamol, for example, for 3 years, and there is not degradation products which are, or which could be harmful for the patient. So we develop methods like that to quantify active ingredients, identifying structure of degradation products, molecular structure with really specific, equipment named mass spectrometry, for example.
Okay.
And we are able to separate molecule, in a certain medicines by doing liquid chromatography. It's what we name that. So it's really specific, but I enjoy it, with my team of engineers. It's great. No, it's like a research and development work, so
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Are you like much in the lab yourself conducting like these tests that you're talking about, or are you more a manager at this point? Because you've been in this field for like 15 plus years at this point.
Yeah, no, I'm managing people now since more than 10 years. I did start in the labs. I worked at Montreal for 1 year at Environment Canada and Agricultural and Food Canada for 1 year. But then, I started to manage people in labs and managing people doing chemistry. So I have a team now and people in US as well. Okay. So no, I'm not anymore in the lab.
And so we mentioned this before we started recording, but I was wondering if your colleagues, your like maybe your bosses or just people in your work environment, do they know about your kind of double life as a skater and skateboarding filmmaker? Or do you try to keep those things very separated and you don't necessarily want people to know in your work that you have like this whole other side to your life? How did you deal with that?
It depends on the people, but sometimes I tell it, sometimes not. But what is funny is that one of my chemists in my team was a skater, 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
I had someone in my team, he was a skater, so I did connect with him on that. So
yeah,
he was skating,
awesome.
which is fun. So it depends. It depends on the guys, but usually I can say it, if it's the right moment.
Yeah, of course.
So at the end, the whole crew, my team is knowing that, so it's fine. That's cool. But I still work in Switzerland, but since 6 years now I'm living in Bordeaux, so I'm not anymore based in Switzerland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, since 6 years I'm based in Bordeaux, and I'm still traveling every week to Switzerland to work 3 days a week and 2 days of home office. So that's why it's easier to film, when I'm in Bordeaux. So
you're 4 days out of the week you're in Bordeaux?
Yeah, so that's why I'm quite deeply invested in the Bordeaux skate scene through different projects and skate urbanism projects as well since 4 years.
Yeah, that's actually a perfect transition because I wanted to ask you about that. You mentioned to me that you were involved in those skate urbanism projects. How did you get involved with that, and what have you been working on for the last 4 years?
Yeah, so I think maybe you don't know, or the story with Leo. It was, I think, 7 years ago or 8 years ago. We got tickets for skating. It was really a nightmare. We could not skate, the main places in Bordeaux, so it was quite crazy. And Leo started, to speak up about that. He went to the TV and talked about, how the council, was treating us, and in the same time took advantage of the image of the skater, like a great sports and how it's great for Bordeaux, but in the same time gave us tickets for skating the main places. So there was a whole process, to legalize the skating by putting, some hours and days, specific days and hours to skate those main places. So Leo did a lot of efforts to improve this. And in 2019, the council did start a project, it's called budget participative, so like a participative budget, where there was 200,000 euros for making any project that the citizen would propose. So we proposed, me and Vincent Dalmagne and another skater, a woman, Swazik as well. Oh yeah. We put together a project, to bring in the shared space, public space, skatable sculpture, for example, or to upgrade skate spots. And it has been the second most voted, project among all the other projects, like to plant trees or, any other ideas from citizens. And it has been the second most voted. So it was great. So we are involved since 2019 to upgrade spots. Or to create new spots via upgrading the existence or proposing skatable sculpture in the public space. So it's not easy, honestly, because there is some constraints or political constraints with some people that we are working with. Okay. That's why it's taking so long. We have made 3 spots right now in 4 years. And I think next year it will be really the end of this, because it's too long now. And we want to finish really the project. And we have still money to spend for the project normally. So I think we will add 2 to 3 new spots between now and next year. So it's something that we really enjoy. We work with an architect who is a skater as well. Okay. Leo is helping us as well as a consultant on those skatable sculpture and so on. And Vincent as well. It's just really long, because there is always a constraint, because as soon as you want to implement something in the public space, you have to talk to different parties, the local council of the specific neighborhood. If it's a private part as well, you need to speak with the owner of it. So there is plenty of things that you did not think about when you start a project like that. But at the end, we are making it. It's slowly progressing. So we have already 3 new spots right now. The first one is coming up end of the year here. And next year, I think we'll have 2 new spots, upgraded or with skatable sculpture. It's the new approach that we want to bring, but to make them permanent, not temporary, because every summer there is an exhibition, where you have skatable sculpture.
Sorry to cut you off, but I was just thinking that you had participated with Leo on this Contact exhibition last summer, the sculptures that were by the Miroir d'Eau in Bordeaux. But those were temporary, as you said. They were just there for, I think, a month or maybe 2 months, I'm not sure.
Yes.
And so what you're saying is you're working on sculptures that would be there permanently, kind of, or for a long time at least.
Yes, it's what we are working on, to ensure that they are there permanently, to really share the public space and make them unique. It's what we try to do, and the council is quite open for it, but we will see. It's quite difficult sometimes, all the discussion with those political, representative, but because we have to make a shift in their thinking process, because they just think about Olympics and stuff like that. Seeing that really as a sport, and it's much more than a sport for sure. So there is a lot of education to give, and to share with them to ensure that they shift their thinking process.
Yeah, they're seeing it more as in the Olympics kind of prism, where they're trying to, maybe they want to implement more skate parks or places like that, but you're actually talking about a more creative side of skating that would integrate into the urban landscape and that people would share the space with, not like a skate park that is completely isolated from the rest of the street, kind of.
You want really to integrate that in the environment, urban environment, so it's more natural, not really a skate plaza. It's not what we are looking for at all.
Do you feel like this is changing with the Bordeaux representatives? Do you feel like they're kind of slowly understanding a bit better what you're aiming for, you and your friends, what you're aiming to develop with these this skate urbanism projects?
They are understanding, but we are working with the sports department for this. And I think it's not the right department to work with because, for example, the culture representative, the culture part of the council is much more open, I would say, to this kind of exhibition. So as a lesson and learn, I would say, I think this project should have been, shared with the culture representative and council because, for example, all the exhibitions that are done with Leo are done with the culture council,
Yeah.
And not the sports one because sports department are really seeing that as a normative things, So they try to impose us really normative stuff when we put a skatable sculpture. They want to put normative skate park rules on those, sculpture, which is crazy. In fact,
it defeats the purpose.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's the kind of discussion that we have, and constraints. But we will slowly do it anyway.
Yeah. But as you said, it's a long process to change mentalities. Like a few years ago, the skaters in Bordeaux were getting tickets from the police for just skating on the streets.
Yeah.
And a lot of work has been done thanks to you and Leo and a lot of other skaters in Bordeaux to change the perception of skateboarding in Bordeaux. And I feel like it's spreading to other parts of France and all over the world. I mean, this whole skate urbanism movement, I don't know where it started, really started, but of course, Malmö has been a big inspiration for many cities around the world. But so it's a long process. Yeah, I'm sure it must be sometimes a bit frustrating to see it take so much time, but...
Yeah, I think it's participating to this movement, clearly. And Bordeaux is quite, well known for this now. I think it's starting to really be being an inspiration for other cities.
Yes.
And other skaters as well. We are seeing that clearly. People from everywhere are coming to Bordeaux to see how it's working, how this is happening. We see as well a trend in UK for that. I think to Nottingham as well.
Mm-hmm.
There is an association of skaters, really pushing for it.
Yeah.
So I think it's popping up, everywhere. I guess now the training is there. So yeah, it's very good for the future of skateboarding.
And so you mentioned before that you just recently traveled to Japan in April, I believe with Leo, and I think you were with also your partner and your daughter. How was that trip? Because I believe that was your first time over there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was my first time. It was like a dream for me because I'm really hyped about Japanimation, mangas, and so on since a long time, and I was always dreaming to go there.
Yeah.
And I think it was the right moment to go for it because Leo and Remy Luciani had the project to go there to do Monstro de Tokyo.
Yeah, that came out a couple months ago, or
yeah, it came out in last September, if I remember well.
Mm-hmm.
On a Grey Skate Mag, and I spent 3 weeks over there with my family for sure, and meeting Leos and Remy and Jesse Narvaez and all the locals, Tokyo skater over there.
Okay.
So it was a great energy, a great time for me. I think it was maybe one of the best trip of my life.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
I want really to go back because it was so great. All is so different over there. But the skate part is really different. It's really difficult to skate over there. So that's why we tend to skate during nights because you can be kicked out in 15 minutes,
Yeah.
You have not really time to skate, It's really 15 minutes. You have to learn your tricks and
then you get kicked out. Yeah.
But great experience, great skaters. Great skate shop over there in Nakano, Fat Bro.
Oh yeah.
Fat Bro skate shop.
Yeah, I heard about it, yes.
So it was super.
So you said there will be some footage of your Japan trip in the upcoming Bordeaux Exposure Volume 2.
Yes. So I did film Akira Imamura for a few days. Really good skaters as well. Really a lot of energy and few locals as well with them. So people not really visible in any other videos. So you will see.
So we just talked about Japan, and you've traveled to the States, of course, and you mentioned Montreal, you went to Canada. If you could travel to any city or country with a bunch of your skate friends and like film and edit over there for like a month, let's say, like there's no work, no taking care of your family, nothing, you can just focus on that for a full month. What would your kind of dream destination would be? Is there somewhere you'd really love to go spend a month and like film some skating in?
It's a tough question.
It can be a few places.
Yeah, for sure. I would like to more explore, Japan, clearly. I know a guy from Ireland who spent 1 month in Sapporo. Mm-hmm. I think there is a great skate scene in Sapporo, so maybe I would go there to explore more, and maybe more Osaka, because I went only 1 day in Osaka. Mm-hmm. For the rest, I think like fishing lines, trips that Guillaume Perimoni did, mm-hmm. all those countries, where there is not a lot of skate footy. I mean, I think about Myanmar,
Oh, yeah.
Myanmar, all these marble edges everywhere. It would be great. Maybe China as well, Shanghai. I would enjoy the marble over there as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
those kind of destination, yeah.
And so the second volume of Bordeaux Exposure is coming, the series is coming out in September of next year, hopefully. Do you have anything else kind of cooking or other projects that you'd like to mention before we start wrapping it up?
Yeah, we are thinking about new project next year for Bordeaux. In fact, I'm a president of a new association in Bordeaux named City Skate Collective. Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's an association to ensure to promote, the skates, culture and urbanism. Mm-hmm. So we are thinking to make events next year in Bordeaux with this association and with Leo and an agency to promote, skates, culture and urbanism. So I cannot talk more about that, but it's a new project which is coming up next year.
All right. Well, before we do the friends questions, I usually wrap up with the same question with every guest. And that's basically, what would you say is the most valuable lesson you feel that you've learned from skateboarding? And of course, it's not just the act of skating. I mean, it's everything that goes around it. So in your case, filming, editing videos, traveling, like you've done a lot of things thanks to skateboarding. But is there maybe one valuable life lesson that you feel that you've learned thanks to skateboarding?
I think naturally traveling and so on, it's learning you, I think, to be more resilient for sure. Yeah. And to be determined, I would say. So it's it's basic things, but it's what I learned a lot, through all those traveling, filming, and meeting all those people. So I was a shy guy, so to me it has opened a lot of things for me, to go outside and skate and meet people and film people. So it has learned me really to better communicate as well. So communication is key. So for sure it has learned me a lot to communicate better and making a lot of friends like that. So I think it's the best thing that I did learn, to communicate better and share. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's wrap it up with the friends questions. So I have a very first one here from Serge de Freitas. You kind of actually talked about this earlier when we started our conversation, but he asked, what was your first legit board, what brand, and whose pro model?
Yeah.
You talked about it earlier, the Matt Hensley board, right?
Yeah, I think I did talk about it. Yes, it was a Matt Hensley H Street, my first board. In fact, I got only 2 boards in 2 years at that time. So it was the H Street Matt Hensley, and the second one was the Santa Cruz Eric Dressen Everslick. Okay. So it was those 2 that I got, So yeah, I great memories with them.
And you got them at this skate shop in Montpellier, you said?
Yeah, it was in Montpellier at Quick's skate shop, or kind of skate shop.
Okay. And while we're talking about Montpellier, I have a question from Bastien Regest, who asked, who started skateboarding first between Ben and you? Who landed the first kickflip?
Wow. Honestly, I think it's me, the first one to start. But for the flip, honestly, I don't remember at all. I remember that when I learned to do flip, I was doing body varial,
Oh, yeah.
It's the way that I did start to learn it, I could not do any normal flip, I would say. It was like body varial. So it was like that, but no, I don't remember. Maybe I was the one, or maybe Ben. I don't remember.
Okay. Actually, the next one is from Ben, from your brother Benjamin. He asked, if you hadn't broken your ankle, would you have put so much effort into filming?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think maybe not. Maybe not. It's part of the story,
Yeah.
Because it's changing your mind, when you have a tough injuries like that. Because I was out for 1 year and a half, so it was quite tough for me to not being able to skate. So the only mean to be close with my friend was taking a camera and film with them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's part of the story. I don't think I would film without this injury. I think no.
Oh yeah, okay. Did it change your skating a lot? Do you feel like you're, let's say, before you had your injury, were you at a certain level of skating that you weren't quite able to get back to after the injury? Or do you feel like you worked your way back to where you were before the injury?
No, I'm the same. I was back 1 year and a half after, and I did take the same level and even progress a bit. So it was fine, but just for the time being, 1 year and a half, I had some pain in my ankle. So I did not have any surgeries, luckily.
Okay.
But you had some pain sometime, but then it has been gone. So it was fine then.
All right, I have a next one here.
Hello, Juju. How do you balance your work, your skating, and your family?
This is Clément.
Clément, yes, Clément Vidal-Roussel.
Clément Vidal, he's a young guy from Bordeaux who just put together a nice video from the Bordeaux scene. So he remind me 12 years ago,
Yeah.
Mixing all those young skater from Bordeaux, which is great. How I balance that? So thanks to my partner, she's really she really understands what I'm doing. So she's really
supportive.
Yeah, supportive with that. So she gives me a slot for that anyway during the weekend between my daughter and her. So we try to share, slots like that.
Yeah.
Since many years now, and even for traveling, she's really supportive as well when I want to go to skate or film.
Mm-hmm.
So really, I thank her really a lot for that, because for my mental health, it's really important to
definitely.
skate. No, beside my full-time jobs, because it's really there is a lot of effort in my job as well to do. So I need this balance.
Yeah, you need the skating as a release, kind of, or as a creative activity to immerse yourself in.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's great. I thank her for that.
What about your daughter? Does she have an interest for skating at all, or is she? How old is she? She's like around 10, isn't she?
She's 11, but sometimes she's going with me, at the skate spot, and I take her when we skate. So that's great. So she enjoys to skate a bit sometimes.
Okay.
So she's really down to go with me when I go out. So I take her sometimes. So that's great. We share that as well during the weekends. And she's able to film me as well, so that's great.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, second angles. Yeah. Perfect.
Second angle, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so I have a next one here from Alexis Greusard that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
So he said, is there a city in France that inspires you as much as Bordeaux, that you've never skated, and that would make you want to shoot lots of footage for a future video project?
Small city in France. I think there is really good skate spots around Perpignan and Narbonne.
Oh yeah.
With really marble specific place. It's where I would want to skate. More for sure. So marble places and spot over there. Mm-hmm. It's not really well known, but it's really great to skate, I guess. Otherwise, I did skate a lot of different cities in France. But those small cities in south of France, there is really gems over there.
Okay, let's see. I have another audio one.
Hey Julien, what's up? I have a quick question for you. What's the best part about being an independent skate filmmaker? And what's the worst part about being an independent skate filmmaker? Thank you.
This is Leo, right?
Yes, Leo Valls, yes.
So what is the best part to be an independent filmmaker? So for sure it's the liberty of choice about who you want to film with, and how you want to do the editing and everything. So that's great for me. Mm-hmm. This is the best part, because I'm not under a brand or anything else.
Total creative freedom.
Yeah, I'm really free to do what I want. I can do DVDs, I can sell them, and it's great.
Yeah.
This is the best part for me. The worst part, I don't think there is a worst part, honestly, because as long as you are free and you are free to choose who you want to film, I think there is no worst scenario, I would say, honestly. No, honestly, it's all positives. Otherwise, I would not continue anyway. So
Yeah.
So for me, it's really the best.
Okay, next one is from Nicolas Malinowski from Bordeaux.
Yeah.
So he said, nollie backside flip or switch frontside flip. That's it. You have to choose.
Yeah.
I know you love those. You do a lot of those.
Yeah, the backside flip is my signature tricks, I would say.
Yeah. So if you had to choose, would you rather stick to the nollie backside flip instead of?
Yeah, stick with the nollie backside flip clearly, because in fact when I had this injury, I started to reskate and I did a lot of nollie backside flip. It was easier for me because it was the front foot, on the nollie.
Oh yeah. So you're not flicking the board.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Since then, it's something that I enjoy a lot. So
Yeah.
Really very easy for me.
All right, the next one is from David Manot.
Yeah.
Also from Bordeaux, a lot of Bordeaux people, of course. So he said, if a company offered you to make skateboard filming your new full-time job with a big salary, but for that you also had to film scooter parts, what would you do?
No.
No thanks.
I don't think in this scenario, it would work for sure. If you remove the scooter parts, why not? Yeah, but I would stick with my job anyway. In this scenario with scooters and so on.
Okay. All right, another audio one here. Let's see.
Yo le J, c'est le F. Quel type de GoPro utiliserais-tu pour filmer la loutre des mers Baltiques?
Wow, I don't know who is it.
That was Fugs, Stéphane Fugas, the filmer.
Yeah, okay. Okay, it's totally a weird question.
It is. He contributed a question for when I interviewed Leo Valls about a year ago. He also sent me a question which was weird and funny and just absurd. And so for the listeners out there, so he asked you basically what type of GoPro would you use to film a Baltic Sea otter?
I will never use a GoPro. I will do with a VX1000 with MK1, fisheye.
Super steezy Baltic Sea otter. Okay.
Yeah, and for the sound.
Yeah. And I think he was attempting to use the voice from C'est pas sorcier, like Fred et Jamy. I think that. I think that's what he was going for. But yeah, the English listeners will be completely confused at this point. But yeah.
Thanks, folks.
Okay, the next question. Let's see. That one is also an audio one.
Hello Quentin, hello Juju, it's Andrea. Juju, I got a question for you. As an OG from Montpellier and Bordeaux, who are your OGs, filmers and skaters inspiration? Also, what is your camera dream setup?
Montpellier and Bordeaux, so this is Andrea.
Yeah, right? Andrea Dupré.
Andrea Dupré. So OG skaters in Montpellier, for me it was really Damien Berbon, OG guys, and Nicolas Rouquette.
Yeah.
I had great memories with them, and the way they were skating was really pushing me to skate more. Mm-hmm. So it was really great. And another guy named Popo,
Okay.
I don't know if you will recognize. Popo, he had a great style, really skates really fast with a great style.
Okay.
Filmers in Montpellier. Who was a filmer in Montpellier? I don't remember, honestly. Yeah, for sure. Now at that time in 2000, there was Luc Anglès and Boris.
Yeah,
making videos.
The Mofo crew.
Yeah, all the Mofo videos. So for sure, I did enjoy it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they were making really great videos. And there was Seb Abes as well, a great skater, a great filmer.
Oh, yeah.
Seb is working in Biarritz right now. He had a company called Smoke Films, I guess.
Okay.
So really good skater, filmer as well. So that was my inspiration for Montpellier. In Bordeaux for sure, you cannot miss Johan Taillandier as a filmer.
The Minuit, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with a totally unique style and type of videos, which sticks to me, so it's really great. Mm-hmm. Johan and OG skaters. I liked a lot Guillaume Dulot.
Oh, yeah.
Guillaume Dulot, great skater. He was part of Five Boroughs team.
Yeah, that's right, yes.
really great style.
He was in one of your first videos. I don't know if it was Days and Nights or the first Bordeaux Exposure, or maybe both, but he appeared in some of your videos, didn't he?
Yeah, he appeared in first Bordeaux Exposure, but for now I don't think he skates a lot, so I'm not sure he's still living in Bordeaux right now, but really great skater. And as well JP Triolier, great skater as well.
Oh, yeah.
La menace fantôme, we call him.
Yeah, he's super talented. I remember him,
Yeah, I would say those OG skater and filmers. And my dream setup, honestly, I don't have really a dream setup. Right now I'm using a P2 camera with a MK2 fisheye.
Okay.
And I think it's fine, honestly.
It works for you?
Yeah, it works well for me, so that's okay. Thanks, Andrea, for this question. Yeah.
All right, so the next one is from Vincent d'Allemagne. You mentioned him earlier.
Yeah.
So he asked 3 questions. So the first one is, can you give me the last part of your future video to relaunch my pro skateboarding career?
Yeah, he has already a skateboard career. No problem for him. I mean, he really super talented skater as well. So he will get some foot in my video anyway, or even a part. So no, we have just to work through that. But yeah, why not?
Okay, the next one is, do you think we will have completed all our participatory budget modules by 2030?
2030.
I think that was ironic, but...
Yeah, it was ironic because he's super frustrated with me as well in this project because it's taking so much time, so much energy for us who are not paid for it, it's just regular citizen working on that. Right, exactly. So he's a bit frustrated, but I'm sure next year it will be done to Lydiane with a great new spot, so I'm still positive.
And his last question is, how can the Bordeaux scene continue to shine as it does today? What remains to be done?
I mean, Bordeaux is well advanced in skateboarding, in sharing public space, doing skatable sculpture. So it's well advanced. So I'm sure there is more to do anyway, or creative things to do. So, I mean, there is a never ending, I would say.
Yeah.
So I would not say that we are done and everything is finished. It's on the rise right now, honestly. Yeah. To be really an example for other cities to integrate skate urbanism, in their master plan.
Okay, I have just a few last ones.
Hey, Julian, it's Simon. It's been a long time, man. How you doing? I heard you still got some professional activities in Switzerland. How is that going? You still traveling between Bordeaux and Switzerland often? Are you perhaps the most well-paid skater in France right now? Jokes aside, if we come over to Bordeaux, can we stay at your place? Cheers, buddy. See you soon.
Is this Simon Perrotet?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's great. So yeah, I'm still traveling between Switzerland and Bordeaux. I'm living in Bordeaux, so yeah, it's been a long time I did not see Simon for sure. But yeah, they can come up whenever they want, to Bordeaux, for sure. OG 2000 crew and Simon, and yeah, there is totally new sport since few years now, so they could enjoy clearly. Come over, Simon.
Okay, this one is from Jesse Narvaez. So he asked, hey Julian, we were just in Japan together last spring, and I know this was your first time. What do you think about the Japanese skateboard culture, and what was your favorite part of it?
I did enjoy a lot Japan, clearly. So I know that Jesse went a lot of time, several times in Japan, so he is getting used to go there, clearly. But what was the most impressive for me, it's totally different. Everything is different, so every single thing, was great for me, just the cars, the bus, all the streets, the small streets with all the small stores, so everything was great for me, I did discover everything, I was taking photos of everything, in fact. So everything was great. And what about the skating? The skating during night was great. A bit stressful, honestly, because you can be kicked out, but it's not aggressive, it's not an aggressive country. Yeah. Because when you are kicked out, even the policemen did not talk to you. They don't talk to strangers. They go straight to see the Japanese skaters.
Oh,
so
really?
You don't feel you don't feel really any aggressivity like in any other place. So that's what's striking me. It's really calm and nice, very respectful. So this is the part that I like, you know. For example, if you go to Paris, it's totally different. It's really it's like, you know, it's crazy. In comparison with Tokyo, it's a big city, but it's quite, you know, calm and respectful. So I liked a lot this part of the Japanese culture. So yeah, that was great.
Okay, yeah, interesting. Yeah, I've never been to Japan, so I'd like to go one day and see that for myself. Yeah,
you will love that, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And he asked a second question, Jesse. He asked, do you remember the first time we met? And he added, Carlos Young, Sleeping Horse.
Yeah, the first time I met Jesse was, in San Francisco in 2014. So for sure I remember Carlos Young for sure, and Sleeping Horse, so it's, John Lindsay. So yeah, we had great time. They were showing me all the spots in San Francisco, cruising, skating, filming. It was great. It was great memories. Thanks, Jesse, for showing me all the spots. It was really great. Thank you.
Okay, and the last one is from Jimmy Lannon from the Magenta crew. So he asked, how has skate urbanism changed the vibe in Bordeaux between the city and the skaters?
Yeah, for sure, the relationship has changed. Even with publics, I much more, you know, enjoy it because they are seeing that it's made for us and by us sometimes. So they are clearly seeing that it's changing their mind, I would say. Maybe they will less aggressivity because it's really part of the city now. And honestly, they are seeing skaters everywhere in each street. You know, it's crazy. When you walk in Bordeaux, there is skaters everywhere.
Yeah.
So you cannot miss it. So for sure, it is participating to this atmosphere as well. So I think it's for the best now, yeah. In comparison with the other city where there is skate stoppers everywhere, like in Montpellier, it's a nightmare. In Montpellier, they killed the skate culture, honestly.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, a big skate scene 20 years ago. Now it's almost dead, I would say, because they did this big skate park, enormous skate park in Gramont.
Oh yeah.
With millions, you know, seeking to park skater over there, but there are still skaters, you know, skating in the city, like Bastien.
Yeah, and his crew.
Making those videos, you know, beer videos, which is great.
Yeah.
So I hope they could change a bit the mindset in Montpellier to do more skateable, you know, places and ensure to shift their mind, because right now it's a bit difficult.
Yeah. I don't know if it's Bastien who's running that, but I saw on Instagram there's this like initiative called En Rue Libre that is like an association that is inspired by you guys' work in Bordeaux, trying to develop similar initiatives in Montpellier.
Yeah, it's Maxime Garlin who is running that, you know, and they're trying to meet with the council to try to do some projects, but I think that it's not really so supported right now. Okay. I don't see things coming up. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think they need help for sure. Okay. So maybe we could give help after. Let's see.
Okay, let's wrap it up here. Thank you so much, Julien. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat with me. That was really fun.
Yeah, thanks for your time. I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
That's it for my conversation with Julien. Follow him on Instagram @Julien_J. Go watch and rewatch all of his amazing Bordeaux Exposure videos from the last 10 plus years, and keep an eye out for the upcoming second volume of his Bordeaux Exposure series. Thank you for tuning in. See you soon for a new episode of Beyond Boards.